everyone and welcome back to my channel Codictate. So today we are going to build a fun and relaxing game called Bubble Shot Games. So let's see how game look like. So this is our game. Okay, it's fine. So see, this is our game layout where three columns are there: easy, medium and hard. So first click on easy level. So yeah, now let's sort it. So same you can play medium level and same you can play hard level. So I provide source code and game link in description box so you can easily watch it. Now let's start coding part. So first, always wear glasses whenever you're doing coding because it's really important for protecting your eyes. And here I'm going to use HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's start with HTML part. I already create one folder which name is Bubble Shot Game, and I already download all the images and audios which is required, and I put it in Bubble Shot Game folder. Now let's open this folder in VS Code. I'm going to create one file which name is index. I'm so sorry, caps lock is on. Index.html. That's it. Now we are going to create our game layout using HTML. So first step, exclamation mark, and then your basic layout is ready. Now let's rename this with Bubble Sorting Game. That's it. Now we are going to write heading through h1 tag where we can write and also give a id which name is title. That's it. This is our current browser view. Now let's do some more thing. I'm going to create home screen. Now inside I'm going to create 3 buttons, and this is for easy, medium and hard levels. So just create button, class name, level btn, and here I'm going to write data level put 1. Inside this button I'm going to insert image. It's super duper easy. Now just copy this particular button and then paste it for 3 times. Now here I'm going to change a little bit. Let's see how our screen look like. It's really bad because right now we are not adding CSS, but that's fine. After this particular div, I'm going to zoom so that you can easily watch it. After this particular div, I'm going to create another div, game container, and here I am going to write a little bit inline styling because initially we don't want to show that. I think right now our HTML is done and now website is looking like this. It's totally fine. Now we are going to add CSS part. So here I'm going to write link tag and go this particular CSS, and because we need to create a style.css file, style.css. That's it. See, listen, if you're watching this video, then I assume that you're already familiar with HTML and CSS. So here I'm not telling you every line of CSS because we need to focus on JavaScript. So here I'm just writing CSS. That's it, and I'm going to show you because I give you source code so you can easily check out the code. So I'm just applying a little bit CSS like in body, h1, game containers, similar for tubes and log tubes, balls and so on. This is really a basic CSS and we don't want to waste our time. So let's focus on script part. After applying CSS, how our website look like. Okay, we forget to write a bubbles. So see this teeny bubbles. It's actually not working right now because we are not adding script part. So let's focus on script part. First I'm going to create a script init.js. That's it. In HTML part, before the body tag finish, I'm going to connect our HTML to our JavaScript part. So here I'm going to write a script and src script.js. That's it. So let's start the script part, and I'm going to divide the script part into sections. So in first section, I'm going to import audio files and initial setup. Now I'm going to write const audio and so this is done, and I'm going to play audio 1, this audio by default, because it's a background sound. So here I'm going to write audio.play, and I want to play this in loop. So here I'm going to write audio.loop and true. And here I'm doing silly mistake. Here I'm not writing mp3, so I'm going to fix it, and that's it. So see, by default this sound is playing, so I'm going to stop right now. So why we write this particular line? So this is a special set in which the same things is not repeated twice. It basically stores which tubes have been logged. Now I'm going to start section 2. In section 2, we are going to actually make our levels, our game levels. I'm going to create one object, const levels, and basically we have created an object with 3 levels, define easy, medium and hard. So first one is level 1, which is called easy level. I'm going to write ball images. Basically each colors of ball has an image, so this image will appear on the background of ball. So this is our level 1. In first level, ball images is ball image. What is the image of ball? Now we need a tube count. Tube count means how many tubes are required. So there will be total 5 tubes in this particular level. So I'm going to write 5. We need to write balls per tube. Basically each tubes will have a maximum of 3 balls. So I'm going to write here 3. So same जैसे हमने level 1 create किया है, similarly हम level 2 create करेंगे. So I'm just going to copy this particular code and then just paste it here. So I hope you understand what is the point of creating levels and why I'm creating object, because every level have a different specification, like every level have a different tube count, ball per tube and number of balls. Let's move to the next section. Let me clarify why I'm creating this particular array. All the test tubes will be stored here, and when the game starts, test tubes will be created with ball inside them, and this tubes array hold each test tubes as an array, assigning a unique number to each ball. And why it is important? Because every ball has to be given a unique identity, so that even if there are 2 red balls, their identities or their IDs are different. And that's why we can create this particular variable. This particular line indicates a record of which level the user has currently clicked. So why we can create this function? Basically this is a helper function to put any array into random order, because whenever we need to put a ball inside the tubes, we need a random order every time. So that's why we can create this particular array. So we have done with section 2.5. Now let's start section 3. Basically this particular function is the starting point of the game code setup. When the user chooses a level, init game level is called, and it set up everything like tubes, balls, colors, IDs, etc. everything. Basically, it resets previous moves or lock tubes, so no old locks are added in the new level. Basically, this tells you which level is currently playing, whether it could be a level 0, level 1 or level 2, because each ball need to be given a unique ID and it is useful for tracking. So what is the use of ball image, tube count and ball per tube? So basically this ball images indicates which color are there in this level. Then tube count, it indicates how many total tubes will be there. Then this particular line indicate how many balls of each color should there be. Basically, this is a temporary list in which all the balls will be kept. Now we are starting creating ball. Basically, through this particular line, we are creating balls. Like how many balls we need to create. I'm going to call shuffle function, which actually arrange it in random order. So I'm going to call it with mixed up all the balls so the game feels different every time. Why I'm creating this particular variable? Basically, it keeps track of which tube to fill next. And why I'm writing this particular line? Basically, all color names are kept in separate variable in for loop. Now, what I'm going to do is filling balls into tubes. So why I'm writing this particular line? Basically, just put the ball in the first tube count minus 2 tubes. Only because the last 2 tubes are always left, because it is just useful for player moves. And now let's just increment fill index. Now we can call render function. Right now we are not defining, but we can define it later. So this particular random function is actually renders everything as it appear in the browser. Section 3 is done, and now we are going to start section 4. And this render function is actually useful for showing the game. Basically, we have created a div named game container in HTML in which all the tubes and balls will be rendered. Let's create a tube. And why we can write this particular line? This indicates are there as many balls in the tube as there should be or not. And through this particular line, it indicates are all the balls the same color or not. So these both of them together tell whether the tube is complete or not. And what is the meaning of this? Means if the tube is full, then logged it. So basically class log added. So the style of the tube can be changed, like a faded color or disable. So whenever the slot has been done, so we need to play a sound which is done slot sound. Now we need to actually add drag and drop events. So this is a URL of our ball image, and now I'm going to paste some code. So this is my code. This particular line is basically for the ball can be picked up with the mouse, and then through this we can get ID, colors, and whenever we can drag, we can start dragging, then handle drag start function is called and we can declare it, and then we can append. Section 4 is done. Now let's start section 5. So this is a handle drag function. Don't worry, I'm telling you every line. So basically this particular line is indicate in which the ball is placed. Then this particular line is indicate unique ID of every ball. Basically through this particular line we can pop top of the ball. And why we can only pick top of the ball? Because the topmost ball is the only draggable ball, because it's a stack. First we need to pop top and then we can pop the next element. And if the draggable ball is not the top ball, then cancel it using this e.prevent default function. That's it. And after popping a ball, we need to play a sound which is called bubble sound. And then we are storing the ball ID and tube index in one object, and the object was converted to plain text using json.stringify function. That's it. And this data will be useful later within the drop event. It will show which ball was dragged and which tube did come from. I hope you understand this handle drag function. Now let's start with the section 6, which is called handle drop function, and it actually dropped the ball into the tube. I'm going to simply paste a handle drop function. So if we need to drop the ball, then we really need to find the source and destination tube. This particular tube index is actually useful. It indicates the tube on which the ball is dropping. So this particular line, retrieving the data we provided, ball ID from at the time of drag. Okay, this particular line, the tube from which the ball was picked up. For if the ball dropped in the same tube, then do nothing because it's the same tube. This is line for the ball come from, and this is the line in which it is about to drop. So we need to stop some invalid cases, like ball move is only possible if the from tube should not be empty, meaning there should be a ball there, and then the two tube there should be a space in it, and then we need to return. And then if we finally drop the ball, then we need to play a bubble sound again, and then we need to call render function, and then we need to call check completion function. We can create check completion function through which we can check whether the game is completed or not. So now let's define this particular function. So this is a check completion function which is useful for checking whether the game is completed or not. So first we can create this particular variable which is called all complete, and initially it is true. Then we need to create one for loop because we need to check all the tubes whether all the tubes is pulled by balls or not. And if tube dot length is equal to 0, then why we need to do anything? We just need to continue because tubes is empty. Then we need to check this particular condition. And why we are checking? Because we want exact number of balls in tube, and all the balls should be same color. Then we need to change all completed to false, and then we can check if all completed is true. Then we need to pause a background sound, then we need to play a level complete sound, and then we need to show alert message that completed you win, and then we again play our audio, a background sound. And after the end of this particular function, we need to call show home screen function. And now let's define this particular function. So basically this is a show home screen function where we need to flags our home screen, and then we need to display none game container. Then this function is actually for showing game and hide home screen. So you can easily understand this particular line. And in end we need to write add event listener to level buttons. Okay, so basically according to user click we need to call a show game screen function, and we need to pass a level, what level user want to play, and then we need to call this particular function start with home screen visible. So this is my whole code, my HTML code, my CSS code, and my JavaScript code. I'm going to save. Now click on this particular go live button. So this is our game. You can see the bubbles. Now let's play. So beautiful. So guys, I am going to give you a project link as well as code link. So go and check out in description and play and tell me whether you like this particular project or not. And if you like this project, then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye bye.